Hello, visuals, and welcome back to another edition of the Visuals Podcast with me, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Chris in for work. I'm at work. I am still, as you can tell, very, very hot. This weather is still disgusting. I don't, mate. It's fucking. This weather is absolutely atrocious. The second, I know it's not the same for you. I want you to enjoy your summer.
Dude,
but,
I'm sitting in an aircon office at the moment.
Fucking, we're all walking around. Even me with my fucking tits out at work, carrying fucking, absolutely dying. And we've got hoses at work, and I'll just sit and spray them in the air, and like showers down. But the only thing is, the water's a bit fucking minging because it's like recycled water. But I don't care.
Because I'm sitting in an aircon room, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, we have to sleep with fans. We physically have to sleep with the big fan on and a little fan right in my face. When you know where my little desk is and my bed's there, it's right there, and I have to just full blast. It's fucking, I can't do it.
You have got a monkey boom, like, I will give you that one.
It's fucking, mate, it's just fucking horrible and atrocious. But anyway, it's a Visual Podcast. We're not doing the entertainment news first, Chris. Do you know what we're doing?
What we're doing?
Because obviously there's nothing to review anything this week or whatever. We've got the entertainment news, which we'll do next. We've got stuff. I've got another fun bracket for us, and this one's a really cool one that I think you'll appreciate.
Why?
Because it's obviously it's to do with characters, but we've done like the biggest Star Wars, the biggest comic book, blah 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 blah. This one spans all genres and all generations and all thingies. It's just simply titled the most badass movie character of all time.
Haven't we done something similar to this?
Well, we've done the most. We've done the most evil recently, like the most villainous. Well, we've done the most heroic and that, but we've never done like the badass, like the anti-hero, like the fucking thingy ones.
Right.
Like, so we've done the most iconic villains, the most iconic characters, blah blah blah. But this is just obviously badass being like. Oh, you know what badass means, don't you? Like, Jesus Christ, he's an absolute G.
He's a G.
And it's a nice, easy one. You definitely know every character. If you don't, I'll be very shooked. But you know every character. I think this one will be quite fun. Like I said, remember when I say some of these names, it spans all sort of character-based stuff. But you know the rules, don't you? I think if we disagree, we'll just straight up rock, paper, scissors it. Yeah. Like usual. Like I said, nice fun, because you finish work, I finish work, we just want to chill and talk.
Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Yes.
I can't remember the rules to that. If you can, feel free,
No.
but I can't. I know lizard poisons Spock. Spock evaporates, was it paper?
Something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember, mate. But anyway, are we ready? Give us a jingle. To play. That's better than you randomly saying you take kids or whatever, or you kill kids. Yeah. Whichever one you said. Are you ready, Chris, for the most badass character of all time? I'm first off.
Going down.
This one's a fun one because I know that you'll appreciate it.
Okay.
But we've got Mr. Billy Butcher from The Boys.
Billy Butcher.
Against Sarah Connor from the Terminators, and I'm sure she had that side spin-off show, didn't she?
Yeah, she had a little mini-series which didn't end well.
It wasn't. To be fair, it wasn't the greatest. It was all right. Speak about it was a little bit, But it's Sarah Connor, famously known from the Terminators, against Billy Butcher, known from The Boys. What have you got, Chris? Hit me with both for both sides or whatever.
I'm gonna go with Billy Butcher on this one. Why? Because he's more recent in the head.
Oh, right, okay. Well, then
Sarah Connor is like an old, iconic character, but she's not as badass as Billy, I don't think.
First of all, I'm going to agree with you, but I feel like we're struggling under the carpet a bit too quickly. We've got to remember this biatch fucking went up against the T fucking whatever it was, 1000, T100, whatever. She also then went up against the fucking T3000, the silver liquidy sort of one, which is just being a person, and she's having to deal with fucking all this shenanigans. The reason why I would agree and go to Billy Butcher was because they would eventually die, and as far as we're aware, we're rooting for the regular normal Joe against Superman, who can't die, as far as we're aware.
Yes. Which
to me, both are massive uphill battles. But the fact that Billy's like, oh, where the fuck's the end of being Homelander?
Yeah.
That's where I would chuck it. I think that's why I think I love The Boys as well, because it's the, instead of rooting for the guy with the powers, we've got the just regular cockney cat.
The guy with the no powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would agree. But she's a badass, mate. You can't say she's not, but
No.
I also agree. I just think we swept her under a bit too quick. What are we saying, Billy?
Billy.
I'll put Butcher.
Miller.
Next up, we've got, this one's quite cool. You can take this version of him from anything, Enter the Dragon, whatever you want. Bruce Lee or Rocky. And again, you can take him from any of his films. Because I think he was just called Lee in Enter the Dragon or whatever the film was called.
Bruce Lee or Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard one, this one.
This is a hard one.
It's a hard one. Because Bruce Lee is a badass.
Oh, mate, he's a vile badass. Like,
now, if you said Rambo, it would be a different kettle of fish.
Rambo comes up later, mate.
All right.
He's actually in the thumbnail as well.
But because you said Rocky, as much as I enjoy the Rocky film, I'm gonna have to say Bruce Lee.
I'm agreeing with you again. I agree with you in terms of Rocky because if that world of boxing was real, he went up against the greatest boxing ever, you know, like the Mr. T's and the fucking Dolph Lundgrens, Ivan Dragos and shit. Especially when he went up against that Ivan Drago when he was taking all the roids and the Russian machine. You remember the montage where he's training in the fucking woods and that, and he's basically there's computers and scientists and they're feeding him shit. And again, he comes out of retirement, doesn't he, for like one of the newer films. And Rocky's obviously a legit badass.
Definitely.
But yeah, Bruce Lee's just... Yeah, he's a fucking
badass.
He's a bit of a different kettle of fish, like.
He is,
but obviously, we've got to, in terms of his characters, we know he fought that demon samurai thing because obviously Bruce Lee is a badass because obviously we're talking about Billy Butcher in the last one, not Carl Urban because of his badass because he fights a thingy. Yeah. Bruce Lee during his films he goes up a lot against like the different gangs of regular people and shit. But like I said, there were a few demonic entity dream things in his old films. You probably can't remember any of his old films, can you? No, I don't think so, Chris. But I'm still going to say Bruce Lee because fucking absolute mint. Now we're going to go for Rambo against Arnie from Predator, whose name was
Arthur, wasn't it?
No, it was fucking yeah. Exactly. Arnie from Predator. So it's Rambo, everything he's done against Arnie. What the fuck was his name again? I can't remember. I just put Arnie and then thinking in my head, obviously, Predator. And thinking, hang on a second, it's not his name in Predator. Yeah. Anyway, you know the fuck I mean.
Yeah.
So...
Arnie was only in the one Predator film, wasn't he? Or was he in two?
He was just in the one. Just in the first one.
Rambo, he had a franchise.
Oh, he had a fucking thingy. But it's not about how many films.
Dog Society.
Good old dog fart. Does he need poo-poo? Good old dog. Go on, dog fart. But what's more badass, right? Again, I haven't actually made my mind up with this one, so you might have to sway me. Going up against just smallish sort of armies on your own with your bow and arrow and that, or an alien with insanely mad tech.
Yeah.
Because that in itself is a small army, if you will.
Both franchises I enjoy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I really enjoy both franchises.
If you're sat here right now and you had to fight one, what are you picking?
I'd go for the easier lot and I'll try and fight the battle. Because there's no way he's going to try and fight the
fair, I feel like yeah, I feel like I would try and fight the army instead, purely because at least, you know...
They're the same base.
Yeah, and the fact that you can, as long as you shoot them, they should be dead.
Yes.
Whereas Predator can take a lot of damage.
Yes.
And especially, obviously, we know he fought the one Predator, but if we're on about the fight itself, you could get any version of Predator, because we saw in the newish one that you had that regular still badass one, but then the bigger one came. Yeah. Like, what's... But like you said, it's no small task, though, that Rambo still, on multiple occasions, obviously the first one, it was like the town and that, but then it developed further into like small little fucking armies and shit. But I think I probably would have to say Predator. But Arnie.
Yeah, I think I'm slowly, obviously, swaying towards Arnie as well.
And the idea,
basis of because of Predator.
Yeah, and he can go invisible, and you are one.
He did a good job.
I'm just gonna put Arnie. We're gonna stick with him. His name is Arnie. I'm gonna Google it after this. Right, next one is quite fun. I think we're both going to agree with the same person, but I don't want to sweep the other person under the rug so quick, but it's the Mando, who's like the space cowboy, against the Punisher. I think we both will have the same answer here, but let's give a fair shout to both candidates.
Right. I know who I'm swinging to.
Yeah, I know who you. I am also agreeing with you, but like I said, we've got a because like the space predator, space cowboy. He's won a bounty hunter, which in itself's badass. It's badass. His looks badass. His arm is badass. His fighting skills is badass. Holding the darksaber is badass. The way that he connects with a youngling with a potentially a powerful Jedi. The stuff that he did against the Darksabers and whatnot.
Yeah.
Amazing. He's a friggin' cut. I fucking love Mando. Then we've got Frank Castle, the Punisher. A guy on a one-way killing spree. The thing that makes the Punisher more badass than anything else is the fact that he'll be in a fight and he'll get shot and scratched and cut up. And he'll just keep getting up and, oh, come on. And like the fight scene in the gym in season 1 or season 2? Yeah, and he's smashing it. But then he's also taking hits, but then coming back and he's never give up, never. Even against Kingpin and Daredevil, where he's got his hands tied behind his back and he's fighting the Kingpin. Absolute badass. Definitely. So on the count of 3, we'll say the same one because I'm pretty sure we're agreeing. So 1, 2, 3, Punisher. Yeah, I thought we would be, but I don't want to push Mando under the swim under the thingy. I'll put pun. Okay, we've got this one's fun. I've added him because me and you both absolutely love him. And remember, we're talking about the character aspect. Okay. But we've got Ripley from Aliens. Okay. Against the Undertaker. Okay, right. So again, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but let's take into account that.
No, give it to Ripley. She's a badass.
Yeah. No. She's my answer. Like, she's the one that I would choose. She goes up against the fucking aliens, the xenomorphs. She fought a queen. She birthed a fucking weird-ass fucking alien thing.
She did, and then something knocked the ship.
Yeah, went nuts, and she still come back to and rip people up and do all this crazy against a fucking alien. But you have to take a thought, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a terrifying human being with a man bun. But no, it's Undertaker. I wanted to add into this. His character was badass, whether it be the Dead Man or the American Badass. Yeah. But one of the best badass things about him was the age he got to, with his body absolutely ruined, and he still went up against big juggernauts like Brock, like Roman, and all that kind of shit.
He got battered, but he's fought himself,
like yeah, and like I said, the Dead Man. He's an absolute G, he's an absolute beast. I love him, but I don't want to fight a xenomorph anytime soon.
No, I don't either.
We did. Even when you make it bleed, it's just going to acid through you and shit. Yeah. So, but that was my choice, Ripley.
Oh, God.
You're going Rico. Ripley! God, Ripley! I just put Rip. We'll go for... Okay, this one's a fun one because it's in the same universe. And I'll let you, sort of dissect this one a little bit. But we'll do... Furiosa or Mad Max.
Okay.
It's quite a fun one.
Yeah.
Because obviously initially you go, oh, Mad Max.
Still waiting for a fucking spin-off.
Yeah.
Right, which Mad Max are you going for?
Any, because obviously they're all the same, really, technically.
Yeah. It's a Furiosa.
Furiosa.
She fucking doesn't have to stand up for herself.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
She's as good as she gets. With one arm.
Yeah, with one arm. Obviously, we only know her from the newer one.
Yes.
She escapes Immortal Joe. She's had to fight through thick and thin. Obviously, he's put her up the ranks of being... Because obviously, women, he had sort of collected. But for her, it was like, no, you're the one that's doing all the journeys. Because I trust you. You're cool. Mad Max, though, comes out the woodwork. If you're talking the old ones... You know, builds up his car and whatnot, takes down all these gangs on himself, still trying to be the cop and hold down the law in a lawless world. All the insane fighting and not that it does, and is obviously his unique weapon, his thingy weapon of a shotgun, and how he integrates into his fights and whatnot. The look itself, he's definitely got a more of a badass look.
He does.
Wearing leather in the sun. Kudos to you, mate. Well done. That's fucking nuts. You know what's weird? We never really stop clapping. We just take bigger pauses between claps.
Okay.
So like thingy, and then what? But I'm eventually going to clap again at some point. That's mental. That.
Okay.
So, I think because of what they overcome in the whole grand scheme of things, especially if you go back to the old Mel Gibson ones, I'm gonna have to say Max.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, he's definitely the more badass.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, Furiosa shouldn't have to go as good as she got.
100%.
With one arm.
Yeah, with one arm. But are you saying Max?
Max.
Next one is quite fun, but it's John Wick, right? Who's a legit badass.
He's a fucking badass.
Against another one, and this one is completely like my dog, and it's King Leonidas from 300. This is Sparta.
I've never actually watched 300.
Oh my god, you've never watched 300?
No.
You need to sort your life out. Well, obviously, for the sake of this one, then I think we're going to.
I know who he is.
All right. Well, he's not going to hit you as hard though.
No.
But so I think we're just have to by default chuck John Wick through.
He was my answer, wasn't he?
Well,
as soon as you said him, regardless of who he was against.
Yes, I know. You're absolutely right.
That man can fucking fight.
100%.
With a pencil, with a sword, with a gun, that man can fight.
But there's something about Spartans and who they are and what they're like. John Wick's badass. We know he can fight. That's amazing. But John Wick, obviously, at the start of it all was regular, normal, kid, blah blah blah, come in, trained, and then we was fought. Spartans were quite literally. We either win this battle or we go home on our shields. We're 300 men against the entire country of Persia. The strategic minds alone of the captains and generals of the Spartan army were fucking disgustingly insane.
Yeah.
Like, and then just the fact that they just got their cape, their little fucking brown panties on, a spear. Like, one of the most badass moments, that's why I put him on the list, in cinema is by him. Because they're about to get killed by the king. There's about 20 of them left. And he says, listen, bow down to us, blah, 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 we'll let you live, we'll carry on. And he's thinking, no, we're Spartans, we don't fucking thingy. And there's a moment, he gets up from the end, I'm spoiling it, I don't care, sorry mate, it's been out for ages, you should have watched it by now. And he chucks his spear, right, at the very end, he's thinking, oh, he's going to kill him. But he purposely chooses not to kill him, he purposely chooses to cut the guy's jewellery and make him bleed, because he always said he was a god, and gods never bled. So he proved to the world and his whole entire army that you're following, so it's not a god. So instead of choosing, right, kill him, we can blah, 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 he was like, nah, I'm going to make you like a cunt in front of everybody. And that is just like, wow, you absolute fucking beast and you unit. So for me, it would have actually been King Leonidas, but because you can't also weigh in and what. I suppose we could rock, paper, scissors it. Because King Leonidas would be my actual choice. Because John, again, I'm not taking out from John Wick though. He looks amazing. He looks cool as fuck. But to see him up against what he goes up against, I don't necessarily think John Wick would win. But at the same time, though, you chuck Leonidas in this situation because he's not used to guns and whatnot because he's back in the day.
Yeah. He
He obviously wouldn't win as well. But do you want to rock, paper, scissors it?
can do.
Right. So it'll be rock, paper, scissors, Lizard, Spock, shoot. No, not really Lizard, Spock, just rock, paper, scissors. You ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Ah! Yes, paper. So John Wick is through. I'll just put John. That'll do you. Good eye, John. This one that might be hard for you, not necessarily hard for me. I don't like I'm not bothered by one of these people, but I can respect their badassness.
Okay.
Brian Mills, which is Liam Neeson from Taken.
Yes.
Or James Bond. Or Mr. 007.
Right. Both good films.
Well, obviously you love Thingy.
But going on By Street, I fucking love James Bond. He's a badass.
Take your bias out of it.
Any fucker on, regardless of what country he's in. If it's an army, he's taking on an army. If they're against a tank, he'll find a way to stop a tank.
And credit to James Bond, if obviously he's a badass with all of his tech and whatnot, but if you take it away, he's still got it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's more helpful to have his tech and whatnot.
Definitely.
But he can still do it without it.
Oh, yes. So it's James for me.
I mean, this one is a little bit of a coin toss for me. I like the idea that Liam Neeson's this one guy he's basically old now, but again, he's got nothing. He's just sort of living out his life and whatnot.
Wants his daughter back, fair enough.
Now all of a sudden, someone's took his daughter and he's taken every fucker
3
out
times.
for fun. 3 fucking times,
3
yeah.
times.
3 fucking times. And so there's a lot to be said in that, because obviously James Bond, as far as we're aware, every time he comes out, because I know I've talked to you about how the universe works, He's still there. He's still regular. He's still in his prime, doing his thing.
Yes.
But whereas Liam Neeson, he's a lot getting older. He's getting older. He's more vulnerable. He's more weak. But he's still going out and taking out all these people and all these gangs and all these thingies.
Yeah.
And again, he hasn't got unlimited resources. He's just got his knowledge and his wits.
Yes.
And to me, that's commendable. But again, this is a bit of a coin toss because I can appreciate the fact of James Bond being who he is, and he is obviously a legitimate badass. He knows how to ride every vehicle. He knows how to use pretty much every weapon, whether that be close combat.
He knows how to, whatever surrounding he's in, he knows how to use that surrounding.
Yeah, he's
to the good of his advantage.
He's definitely a legit assassin. Oh well, not assassin, sorry, agent, sir.
Yeah.
But to be fair, mate, I would like to see Brian Mills go through, but I'd be happy to just go with Bond because I can see it from both.
Yeah. But it's James.
Right, we don't need to rock paper scissors. I'm happy to see Bond go through. Okay, now we go on to Bruce Lee or Billy Butcher.
Right.
And remember, so you got to try and again, I know you can't remember, but try and think about
this situation. I'd probably go Bruce Lee.
Well, again, is what Billy Butcher faces as a character more hard to overcome than what Bruce Lee is? Like, what Bruce Lee comes face to face with, a lot of it's just regular people that he can beat anyway because he's trained.
Yes.
Doesn't mean he's not less badass. I can't remember if the demon one was just a dream or not, but regardless, he's a demon, but eventually has a weakness. I still can't get over the fact that Billy Butcher has to look Superman in the eyes and fight him. Billy Butcher.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So to me, I'd have to sway to Butcher. It's like I said, it's more of this man v God.
Yeah.
And I shit myself. Especially when I said God. This man versus God, and this God is absolutely fucking invulnerable, invincible shenanigans. And I know, have you done any more of season 3?
I'm halfway through it, but I'm at the point where
I'm not going to spoil out.
They've let Soldier Boy out of his container.
Mate, I'm so jealous.
And Butcher's got eye powers, and so does Super Speed.
Huey. He's got his transportation. The lads, I've managed to get a few lads at work to watch it, and they love it. I put a bet on with somebody, right, that I said, if you come back to me and you say this show is any less than an 8 or higher, I'll give you 20 bar. But you have to be honest though, and you come back and says, that show's absolutely perfection, as I told you, mate. It's fucking something about that show. It's I don't know. It's fucking just absolutely amazing. I mean, obviously, I don't know how you feel about it.
It's a good show. I am enjoying it.
Yeah, I know you're enjoying it, but for me, it's quite heavily and fast becoming my favourite show of all time. Like, it's just it just takes pop culture on its head and says, nah, fuck you. This is how we're doing it. That's it. Wow. But no, sorry. Yeah, for this purpose, I'm saying Butcher because it's man v God, and Lee is trained human against trained human.
No,
Sorry,
it's
human.
I'm happy with Billy, to be fair. So Billy.
We'll go Billy.
Yeah.
We'll go Billy.
Well, again, Billy. Billy Bob.
That leaves us here with the Punisher or Arnie against the Predator. And this one kind of voids itself because every argument you can put for Arnie, you can give to the Punisher because you might not have seen it, but in the comics, he's also gone up against Predator-like threats.
The Punishers.
Yeah. It's not. This now isn't unique to Arnie. Arnie's a badass because of he was a badass army guy, and you know, hoorah! Even though I'm not from America, but hoorah! And I fought an alien. Yeah, Punisher's done all that as well.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit of a hard one, this one, because we've only seen one film of Punisher.
Yeah,
Predator.
Like I said, the badass moment is Dutch. That's his name, Dutch. Fucking idiot. I knew it would come back to us. The badass thing about that is because, like I said, it's one guy against this unknown threat, knows nothing about with this amazing technology. He eventually beats it with a big rock and being covered in mud. That is super badass. Fucking he deserves to be on this list. But you come to Punisher, we've already got the stuff we explained before, but then we also come to, you know, he went up against it in terms of the comics. You know, there's one point where he went up against Spider-Man's greatest foes at once.
Really?
Yeah, he's went toe-to-toe against Captain America. I know Captain America's a human, but that's still a scary thought for just a guy.
Yeah.
He's coming odds against plenty of heroes. The hero, you know, he's done stuff with the Defenders. He's
a hero.
Tangled with Ghost Rider. So because of the amount of threats he's had to endure, which isn't Dutch's fault because he's in this one film.
Yeah.
For me, it's Punisher because he's done.
Yeah, I'm happy with the Punisher gone through, mate.
He's done it all.
I'm happy with him. Good old Frank.
Frank Castle.
Can't wait to see more shit.
100%, mate. 100%. Ripley against John Wick.
Right.
This basically goes down to how you laid out before. Would you rather have a hand-to-hand fight or a gunfight with a bunch of people, or a fucking xenomorph?
Yeah.
Like, what's more of a... Do we chuck in the fact... No, this is one of the things that annoys me about cinema. People always go, we want more leads in cinema. One of the greatest leads in cinema is Ripley.
Yes.
It's just, sometimes, a lot of times, female leads are just shit. This is one of the best leads ever, so they don't have to get an argument. I was going to say, should we go give her more points because she's a girl? Like, no, fuck that, she doesn't need it because she's a beast anyway, regardless of her gender. But yeah, what would you rather?
Again, I'd rather go up against a human army than a one fucking xenomorph.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The idea of, it depends. If it's just me, both are obviously frightening because if there's an army of fucking Yakuza there, we're dead.
Yeah.
We can't fight the Yakuza.
No.
For John Wick, it's not as scary because he can deal with his
Yes.
shit. But could John Wick handle a xenomorph like Ripley did?
I think he'd give it his go. Like, I think
100%.
he'd do a fucking good job, to be honest.
He would, like. Obviously, you'd have to have it against a Ripley that's a new Ripley, because a Ripley that's fought these aliens and John Wick that hasn't yet, she's got all the experience and the know-how and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll cotton on, like. I'm sure if he had his way, he would fucking...
Well, yeah,
he would do his damage, especially with his sword.
Well, I was about to
as soon as
say...
he gets his sword, he can...
You've got to look at it as well and say that he's trained as well, so he would be trained in thingy. But ultimately, that's hypothetical. He still hasn't fought a xenomorph.
No. But I still... I'm going to go John. I think if he had the chance, he would come out on top.
Yeah, but that's, like I said, that's the hypothetical, isn't it? He hasn't done that. He's fought the Yakuza and stuff. So do we give him the badass for being like, get in, you fought the people, or her? And mate, to be fair, this is a coin toss for me because both are, from mine and your perspective,
but it could be the other way around,
threats.
though, wouldn't it? Ripley wouldn't have a clue about the Yakuza.
Yeah, but she wouldn't be in that situation, would she?
She wouldn't.
So yeah, right in front of us right now is it more badass? There's two doors here. Are we going to fight the xenomorph? Or are we going to fight? I don't know why I keep saying Yakuza. We're going to go fight the fucking the table, the people under the table, above the table, whatever the fuck.
I'd rather fight the people at the Continental than the xenomorph.
Right, so we're going Ripley. We're going Ripley. This one.
It's out shortly, so I'm looking forward to it.
This one, I've got a massive favourite out of these two, but I think this has got a clear answer. It's Bond or Mad Max.
Again, both.
100%, mate. 100%. But you put James Bond in Mad Max position, he'd smash it. To be fair, if you put Mad Max in James Bond, he's just not as trained, but he knows his way around weapons because he is still obviously the Mel Gibson ones. He was coppers.
In each other's environment.
Yeah.
They both know how to blend in with the surroundings. They know how to use the surroundings as a weapon.
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. James Bond will be more trained and more terrain. Because as far as we're aware, Mad Max has only really had to deal with high thingy situations in, the heat and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whereas you chuck James Bond in a rainforest, snow.
Oh yeah, he will skydive, fucking rainfall.
Yeah, I think he's got more attributes. I would rather Mad Max, I prefer him, but I think I'd have to give it to Bond.
If you go in that scenario, then yeah, I think Bond will come out more on top.
I think I'd have to give it to Bond.
With the diversity of situations he's been in compared to just the heat.
Yeah, 100%. This one's a fun dynamic. I've got my winner here though. Billy Butcher against Punisher. Not only do I want to see them two do a team up film, that would be fucking beautiful. But I have to do the same argument for Punisher. I would love Billy Butcher to come out on top on this because I love him. But he's dealing with a couple of crazy supes and one massive lunatic.
Yes.
On Punisher's worst day, he's dealing with the gang level threats, the Kingpin level threats, Spider-Man villains or Iron Man villains. He has the endless possibility. He's done the Homelander level threats and whatnot. Obviously, sometimes not on his own with a team, but Billy Butcher has a team. I think because there's more of Billy Butcher's got one real target, whereas the
Yes.
Punisher could have many, and I think that's probably more badass. Not that it's Billy Butcher's fault because of the world he comes from, but
Yeah, I reckon if you, as soon as you get rid of Superman, the rest of his teams will just go nope.
yeah,
Where
So-
Punisher's will be like, right, next one.
keep coming.
Yeah, so I think Punisher's going to be this one.
Punisher has made it to the final, and that's right. Now this one, a difficult one. We're gonna have to ask the same question, mate. The same door, Ripley or James Bond. And to be fair,
Well, Bond hasn't gone up against aliens, has he?
no, but that's what I mean. Yeah, well, Bond goes up. He's got a gun. They've got many guns. Let's
But
fight.
again, he'll give it his
She-
go.
Yeah, 100% you would. But again, are we fighting xenomorphs or he fights more like mad? What is it? What's his main villain? It's not really countries,
It's
is
just
it?
evil people.
Evil geniuses.
Yeah.
Are we fighting an evil genius with an army or a xenomorph? Xenomorph
Well,
queen.
let's put it this way: fucking President Putin or a xenomorph.
Right, so Putin stood right there, go out and have fisticuffs. Xenomorph's on the front. Go get stabbed up and bled on with acid. I'm fighting I'm fighting Putin. Right, so Ripley. And I think this is default then. I
Well,
think
yeah,
this is
because they
default.
both fight aliens.
Punisher's done the lot. So I think if we're not going to contradict ourselves and stick with the same logic, we have to say Punisher is the winner.
I'm happy with the Punisher.
I'll take Frank Castle. There, I didn't need to write it on. Punisher is our most badass character of all time. Like I said, all of them were in there for their own reasons,
Yeah.
and they all had their own, discipline. It's not James Bond's fault he's never fought an alien. It's not fucking Mad Max's fault he's never fought in a jungle. There were some jungly moments in the old films, but not like to the extent James Bond would do. Or he's never fought on top of a fucking snowy mountain or whatever.
No, I said Bond has been through all that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not really their fault.
No.
Punisher comes from a massive, vast world where he's fought heroes and villains alike. You know, aliens and street level people. He's done the fucking lot. And to be fair, mate, the fact that he goes up against a Kingpin, and the Kingpin being a dude is scary enough on its own.
Yes.
John Wick against the Kingpin would be quite fun.
It will be quite
James
fun.
Bond against the Kingpin would be quite fun.
Again, it will be. It'll be interesting.
Well, I'm happy with Punisher. I'll take Punisher.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, son. But there we go. Should we end it there then? That was a nice bracket. If you get any bracket ideas, you can come down and fucking say, I've got a bracket idea or whatever. You could do them. It just sparked, because what did I watch over the weekend? I can't remember what I watched now. No, it wasn't because we got watch. It was giving Jake Paul credit for fighting how he's doing the boxing stuff. I don't like Jake Paul at all. You would love Logan Paul's Prime drink. Energy drink, but it's not an energy drink.
I've seen that advertised somewhere. I don't know where.
It is honestly, it is fucking beautiful.
What is it?
It's like I said, it's an energy drink, but it's not like a Monster or a Red Bull. It's kind of like, you know, the Lucozade, but the one that's got the bottle of the way you drink it, and you spit out,
Yeah.
where it's soft. It's like that.
Like a
with-
juice.
Kind of.
Not a fizzy drink.
but it doesn't. I would say it's got the consistency of a diluted juice, but it doesn't have the taste or feel.
I like
it's-
lemon lime.
It's mental.
Where's
Like,
it
honestly,
from?
as good, but they're selling out like wildfire because it's him and KSI. So as soon as it goes in stock, it's gone. Yeah. B keeps every Asda she passes, she's in.
Well, I need to do masters on, so I'll have a look at it if I can buy anything.
Have a goosey gandies.
I'll have a decent.
Right, okay, yes, Punisher is our most badass character of all time. Visuals, let us know what you think. He's got the fucking drain cover. I'm not bothered about that. Yeah, he's got the drain cover. He's probably absolutely mangled it by now. Have you mangled it, you little bastard? I'm going to stop the video. I'll get off of this stuff. But visuals, thank you for listening. We'll be back with a bracket at some point. But to be fair, though, it'll be like Groot and She-Hulk to talk about soon. So, hey,
Yeah, we've got some interesting shit coming. So it should
I'm sure
be
we'll talk about it in a sec as well.
fun. Should be.
But visuals, thank you for listening. We'll keep it on.
And as always, all the bad.
Do a Frank Castle scream. Or no, more of a battle cry in it, like "Urgh!" He's very isn't he? Urgh! Give me a car as well. Give me revving up. That's a bike. That's not a car.